Hey, Melissa.
Yeah.
The people have questions.
Okay.
But I have really good news, and most of them are about chemistry, I think.
Oh, phew. Good. And that's something I can usually answer questions about.
But questions about some recent episodes, like the moisturizers stuff.
Okay.
People want to know more about that.
Okay.
We've got a question about why glass is transparent.
Okay.
We've got some questions about why some foods feel different, feel hot, feel cold in our mouth, spicy, cool, whatever. So we've got a lot to talk about.
Okay. I'm ready.
Yeah, but are you ready?
I did just take a little yawn, but
Yeah.
I'm ready now. I just need to get it out.
Okay. Just want to make sure before we get into this, because there's no going back.
Yeah. Okay. I can do it.
All right, let's do it.
Hey, I'm Melissa.
I'm Jam.
And I'm a chemist.
And I'm not.
And welcome to Chemistry for Your Life.
The podcast helps you understand the chemistry of your everyday life.
Ask a Chemist edition.
Yeah, Ask a Chemist edition. Yeah. That's my preferred title because I do feel like, even though it's not as easy to roll off the tongue as bonus edition, when you're looking for videos or looking for podcast episodes, I feel like the saying "Ask a Chemist" at the beginning is such a nice, like, oh, cool. That is what I want to do.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to know, you know?
I totally get that. I lied a little bit earlier when I said I was ready for you to ask me questions. Because before we do that, I want to talk about this ghost on my hat.
Oh, yes.
This little ghosty. This little ghosty is our ghost holding an Erlenmeyer flask logo.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't get it on a hat yet, at least. This was a special gift to Jam. From Jam to me.
You know what they did do that we haven't really tested out, though, after I gave you that?
Mm-hmm.
Our merch partner, they actually have where they can print on hats. So it's not embroidery.
Oh, okay.
They print on hats. And I kept meaning for us to like try that out and see what it looks like. I think our stuff is already for sale with that. Some of it is. But the ghost has not yet been because it happened since then. But that's something new that they offer. It's kind of cool.
So let us know if you want to try that, I guess.
Yeah.
But the logo is available on our merch store right now, so you can get ready for Halloween. All Hallows Eve. Cute. This is what I like about October is 90s ghost decor. You know, it's like we're not trying to be spooky, we're just trying to be cute.
Yeah.
That's what I like about Halloween, you know?
Definitely.
And dressing up as ridiculous people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you can get this little ghost with holding a flask, an Erlenmeyer flask, on a sweatshirt, on a t-shirt, on a long sleeve tee, on a tank. There's a bunch of things. So you can even get a little sticker of the little ghost if you want.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of ways that you can have spooky and chemistry combined this season. So go to chemforyourlife.com/store.
Yay. Okay, now I'm ready.
Okay. So first, the comment is, before question is, one more thing to delay the questions, is just that we saw some other questions right before we got to record from our community members, Kyle and Vince. So those we did not have a chance to incorporate them. So those will be in the next Q&R. So they're not gone. They're not forgotten. They just we didn't get them in time. So next time, thank you all for submitting those.
Yeah, absolutely.
But this first one is from another member of our community, Letila. Why is glass transparent?
Okay, I think we've talked about this before. We did a little bit on is glass a solid or a liquid? And I think we determined that because it's a non-crystalline solid, the light can't really be absorbed in the visible region. And so if it's not absorbed in the visible region, it's not visible. And it looks transparent. And if you think about it, other versions of quartz or other versions of glass, I guess, like silicon dioxide is what it is. Like sand or quartz that are in a more crystalline structure, they are opaque. So it's not just that silicon dioxide is magically see-through, it's that this specific arrangement of molecules is such that the light is not absorbed or reflected. It just passes through.
Huh.
That's what I think. Chemistry off the cuff.
Okay.
I think I did, just to confirm that, I do think I have one source on that you can look at in our show notes.
Nice. Okay, this next one, I guess this is more of a comment, but this is in response to on the things glowing in the dark.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that was one of my favorite episodes that we've done in a while.
Yeah, this was from someone on YouTube, Taishi Alpha. Just said, I never understood this in any of my classes on this subject. This is so cool. Thanks for helping this chemistry teacher learn something new. Heart eyes emoji.
Aw. Yay, we love chemistry teachers. I suspect I know who that person is, but I don't want to out their YouTube name.
Totally.
So if you are who you think, if you are who I think you are, that's so sweet. Thank you.
And even if you're not.
Yeah, even if you're not, that's so sweet. And we still love chemistry teachers, especially, teaching chemistry is really hard to do. So that's really sweet.
Nice. This next one is kind of recommendation in response to the question we got about like using baking soda and vinegar together to clean and how they actually cancel each other out in that way.
Mm-hmm.
So this person, Zombie Lincoln on YouTube,
such a name,
said the better alternative is baking soda and soda water or carbonated water. What do you think about this?
That's the same thing is what I think. It's carbonated water. It's like a less effective version basically, but carbonated water is just water with carbonic acid that breaks down into CO2 and H2O. And what we're making when we make baking soda and vinegar is basically a salt and CO2 and H2O.
Mm-hmm.
So it basically does the same thing. It's still just acidic liquid mixed with base. But again, I think it could do some like the grittiness of it. If you have an excess of the baking soda,
right?
I think could have an abrasive cleaning action.
And would carbonated water be less acidic than vinegar?
Probably so.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
I'll say like at least in the sort of experience of it seems like it is, but
yeah.
Interesting. Okay. This one we'll tease at the top from Tim, a community member and friend IRL. What a great question. Why do mints feel and taste cold? Totally know what he's saying there. Why do peppers like feel and taste painfully hot?
Okay, so we did do an episode on capsaicin and how it activates the heat receptors. Okay, so I think, and I didn't look this up, and maybe I should have, but I just went with my gut. Chemistry off the cuff. My guess is it's the same kind of thing. So instead of activating the pain receptors, it activates the cold receptors, which maybe sort of counteract the pain receptors somehow. So it's activating the anti-hot receptors in a way. And so it feels cold to us because whatever, it's probably menthol, triggers the same nerves that cold does, and that also probably triggers the numbing sensation. Is my guess.
Yeah. Interesting.
That's my guess. And then I think Tim also asked, like, I very briefly saw it right as we got on, a follow-up of like, why does sun skin feel the pepper but others don't? Like, why can you feel that warmth in some places but not in others? And then one of our other community members commented and said, I think other places can feel that capsaicin. And I agree with that person. I think it was Erica. I agree with that person because that's how icy hot works, and you can rub that on your back. But I do think it's the concentration to heat receptors, like how many heat receptors are in this area and how much capsaicin is getting there. It's a lot more in your mouth, I think. You're getting a lot more capsaicin, and maybe it's a little bit more sensitive. But I don't know about you, but sometimes after I eat spicy foods, it feels spicy.
Oh, totally.
On the way out.
Yeah, for sure. But even I was thinking like just like it being on your lips and stuff. Like that's like it's on my skin in a different area and it feels hot still there.
Yeah, or like if you accidentally touch your eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and sometimes I can feel it on my, Erica mentioned this, like on my fingertips. Like if I've been cutting jalapenos or something.
Good one. Good question.
I really think it's all about the amount of receptors and concentration of oil hot.
Okay, this next one is from Fletcher. Hi guys, I have just listened to the moisturizer episode. I have a follow-up thought that came up between me, science technician, and a science teacher at my school. Here in Australia, we have a product called Paw Ointment. I've used this, and the link was given to the ointment. I've used this for all 4 of my kids when they have nappy rashes, cuts, scrapes. I think it encourages healing faster than not using it. Our teacher thinks it's plant-based woo, is that what it says?
Yeah.
And is just Vaseline.
I interpret that to mean like plant-based woo-woo.
Oh, I see. It's just like kind of, okay, I see. Yeah. Well, would this make a good episode? Thanks. Love the show. Fletcher.
Oh, thanks for those nice words, Fletcher. Okay, this is a great question. This is the kind of question I love. So I went and looked online at the Pawpaw website, and it says Lucas Pawpaw Remedies custom blend of pharmaceutical grade petroleum jelly and wax. So the Pawpaw ointment is crafted to this formulation using a custom blend of petroleum jelly and wax as a carrier. And then the thing that it claims sets it apart is that it has some fermented papaya. And it also said some tree sap. So my thought on that is there is a lot of Western medicine that it's like we believe, okay, Western medicine is the only way. But we've talked before about how there's a lot of indigenous knowledge that the science hasn't caught up yet, but it is still accurate a lot of times.
Right.
And so me personally, I don't know what fermented papaya would do, but I don't know that it's doing anything bad. The tree sap, I kind of wonder, could that be an irritant? But also what amount is it in? That would make kind of a difference.
Yeah.
And we have already recorded this. We haven't talked about it yet on the episode. It hasn't aired yet. But we'll talk about irritants in lip balms and things next week. So I almost feel like, I assume your kids are grown and you're not using pawpaw oil on their diaper rashes anymore. Or what do you call it?
Nappy
rashes. Cute. I assume that. But if you can think like, oh, when I'd normally reach for the pawpaw, what if I reach for Vaseline instead and sort of see? I feel like that could be a good little test.
Right.
So
yeah, I was like, these use cases sound like just what we use like Aquaphor for with our kids.
Yes.
Which is like straight petroleum jelly, I think.
there might be something in there that is supposed to improve healing. I don't know for sure what's in Aquaphor besides petroleum jelly.
Yeah, I haven't looked at it, which is weird. I'm like, we've been talking about these moisturizer stuff and I didn't even think about it, but it's like just such a staple in our household.
Yeah.
But it is like, yeah, I mean, it's definitely a difference if you use it or not. So whatever's in there, I'm a believer.
Yeah. I'm trying to look it up what's in it right now. And so I would say that it is mostly, is what it sounds like from the website. It seems like it is mostly, the pawpaw ointment is mostly occlusives. So they're keeping moisture from escaping, which is probably helpful to irritated skin because moisture is a key, key aspect of our skin doing its job. But I don't know about if the papaya is doing anything or not. I tried to look up the active ingredients in Aquaphor, and on the Aquaphor Us website, which is a really funny name, on the advanced healing therapy, it says active ingredients petrolatum, which is, I think, just another way of saying petroleum, but I can't find the inactive ingredients. Let's see. Yeah, petrolatum 41%, but, view all.
There we go.
Here we go. Mineral oil, similar, non-polar. Lanolin, which I think lanolin might have been one of the irritants, but it's lanolin alcohol. Panthenol, glycerin, and bisabolol. I don't know what those are.
Whoa.
Lanolin's the only one that I have a question mark by, but this is highly recommended by dermatologists as far as I know. So I think that without a doubt, having this kind of barrier over the skin helps it heal is what we've seen. But I don't know what the papaya is doing.
Yeah.
But I don't want to say it's probably doing nothing because it could be doing something.
Totally.
I always go back to that Radiolab episode where that history buff and biologist, microbiologist, went and tried to make this medicine from the super long time ago, and it effectively killed a bunch of bacteria. And it was feels like I'm brewing a witch's potion, but then it worked, and you're like, oh, okay, so traditional medicine has worked. It's we tried things and they worked. We just don't always have the science for it yet.
Right. Or with pawpaw, just like I've got papayas and it'll make it smell better. You know, was it really, was it that they thought that was part of the helping of it? Or was it like, oh, we've got papayas?
Well, it's fermented though.
Oh,
fermented papaya.
I see.
I think based on what I read.
Okay.
So,
well, pawpaw might have just known what he was doing. You know?
I know. I was like, is the pawpaw from the papaya? Or is it from like, is it from like Papa's ointment?
Yeah. I just assumed. Yeah. Huh.
You know?
Interesting.
I know. Oh, and I was going to say, it does say that it's tested for polyaromatic hydrocarbons in the petroleum jelly. So that is a potential irritant that is like for sure not included in this. So,
nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's what I found when I went on a deep dive.
Mm-hmm. Very interesting. This next one is from Ciana. Did we ever determine how we wanted to pronounce that?
I think it's Sienna, but Ciana. I don't know. Like Sierra.
I was thinking of
Sienna?
anthocyanins.
Oh
yeah.
Sienna. Yeah.
Ciana. Now I'm really getting stuck on it. Let us know how you'd prefer us to pronounce that. Very sorry how many times I said it wrong or right. How does poison work, and why do certain poisons harm one thing but not another? Whoa.
This is a really good question.
Yeah.
So a lot of poisons work by targeting our nervous system, or I think that's the biggest thing. A lot of times they'll poison our nervous system. They like basically get in there and do something it's not supposed to. But I actually think maybe there's a variety of ways that could happen, because like one thing I think of is methanol is considered a poison because if you drink methanol, I'm pretty sure it oxidizes in our system to formaldehyde, which is really dangerous. So like in our body, it turns into the bad thing, but it might not be bad itself.
Yeah.
And so I think that basically our body processes it and does harm to our bodies. But the thing is different creatures, different animals, plants, whatever, they'll process things differently, and they have different systems to process, different like metabolisms, things like that. So they might be able to encounter something that might stop us in our tracks, but not stop them. So I think that's like a key thing to think about, is we all have different defense systems. It's like different living beings all have different defense systems. And then another thing is the dose. It's like, how much of this poison are you taking in? And just today, actually, Letila on Instagram posted a thing that said botulinum toxin. It was about natural versus not, but it's like botulinum toxin is the most toxic substance known to man, and it's naturally derived, you know? And in super small amounts, it can kill you. But then in much larger amounts, water can kill you.
Right.
You know? So it's like taking in too much of any one thing is not going to be good.
Yeah.
So, and some things, too much, the threshold is a lot smaller than others. And so I think the dose makes the poison is the adage for that. I don't know who came up with it, but yeah.
Interesting.
Those are my thoughts on poison, is they basically make your system stop working, because botulinum toxin works by paralyzing your muscles. So your body can't function. So basically we'll just get in there and like make your system stop doing what it's supposed to be doing one way or another.
Right. Man, that is fascinating. What a fascinating question. And the fact that like when you're specifically looking at substances that can do that, it's like, okay, I guess there's a lot of ways to make things go wrong in our bodies. And if for whatever reason that's your goal.
Yeah.
Or you're trying to figure out what to avoid. You know, it's like we've discovered over time things that are bad for us, but some of them are like, oh, this is deadly.
Yeah.
But it is crazy. It's like there's so many things that have to go right in our body all the time.
I know.
It's like something that's just good enough at disrupting something crucial can do that.
That's how I feel when babies are born. I'm like, so much had to go right for this to happen. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's like your cells are all the cells of a human baby are in the same chemical environment, but the DNA knows enough to tell it when to be like, okay, this cell, you go be a hand, and this cell, you go be a brain. It's like, what?
Yeah, that it is so weird.
And they all start out as one single cell.
Yeah.
I think about this a lot.
Yeah, very crazy.
It's like if it had different chemical baths, I'd be like, oh, this is the signal. But what? It just tells itself.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
It's alive. I've seen one of my favorite words here. This question is from Gypsy C on the website, our website. We love seeing questions come through there. How is regular coffee decaffeinated?
We did a whole episode on this, Gypsy, so just wanted to shout it out. There's a few different ways it can be decaffeinated, and that can be why decaf tastes bad.
Mm-hmm. I am drinking decaf right now.
That's crazy.
This, when you go back and listen to that, because I think we talked about this method, I just can't remember for sure which all ones we like got to go deep into. Mm-hmm. But this I'm drinking right now is decaffeinated by the ethyl acetate method.
Okay.
We talked about the CO2 method, the Swiss water process method, ethyl acetate. There's one other one that I'm forgetting.
Dichloromethane?
Probably, yeah. The one that's like the most shady or whatever, the most like...
Yeah, I just feel weird about it.
Yeah.
For no good reason.
I think most people do. I think there's a lot of reasons people were like, Swiss water sounds better, you know?
Yeah.
But this is a ethyl acetate one. The first one that to my knowledge, that we've had and roasted and stuff. So
nice.
Yeah.
Very cool.
But that's a cool episode. We should definitely revisit that at some point.
Ethyl acetate does also smell like nail polish, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, and the source we got it from talked about like, yeah, it's like this, it's like that, but this is one of the best tasting decafs.
And everything will evaporate.
Yeah.
All those chemicals will evaporate. Mm-hmm. It's just hard for me not to be like, think about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Swiss water has the like benefit of seeming so chill, but
it's just water.
The taste is just...
Yeah.
But you know, like 99% of the caffeine's gone. So it's doing its job well.
Yeah.
But go listen. It's super fascinating. It's way, way crazier than I thought.
And if you don't have this, I personally use Pocket Casts. And you can go to our podcast and search within the episodes. I don't think Apple Podcasts lets you do that yet.
No, you could kind of just like a broad search. It would be like Chemistry for Your Life, caffeine. It probably would come up. But yeah, within Pocket Casts and a couple other apps, you can just go straight search within our podcast only, which is awesome.
Which is great. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want, is this like a statement and a question, or what's going on here? Or do you want me to read this one, then you can read the other ones?
Sure.
Okay. Hi, Melissa and Jam. I was thinking about you guys recently because my husband and I had decided to change our hot tub sanitizing chemicals from chlorine to bromine. Oh, I did read this one, actually. After much research, we decided to switch because bromine is less corrosive and stable in dark, high-heat environments, like a hot tub with a cover on. While we were checking the pH levels using the chemical strips, I wondered why certain chemicals are given the colors they are on those strips. For example, across different brands of strips, chlorine and bromine are always shades of purple. pH is always red/orange, etc. How did they decide which colors for use for which indicators? Does it even matter? Could halogen indicators be green and pH be shades of yellow? As always, thank you for all you do. Can't wait to hear your upcoming episodes. Christina G. from the website.
Hey, Christina G. Hope you're doing well. Isn't she part of our community?
Sounds like it. Sounds right.
Okay. Or maybe it was, but I think is. So
I think it is.
One thing I thought is that's really interesting about the bromine. Bromine and chlorine both are pretty reactive in heat and light, but I do think bromine is generally considered more stable. So I am kind of like, why don't we use that more? Why is it chlorine the thing?
I think some hot tubs do. Like I know that the pool store I worked at forever ago sold several like hot tub specific things like that, like bromine, and there's other stuff we had that was non-chlorine, non-bromine. I can't remember what it was. Mm-hmm. So they were just,
definitely bromine reacts with light. So I could see why the hot tub would be good because it's more often in the dark, but it also does react with heat, but it is known to be more stable than chlorine. In general, I think of chlorine as pretty reactive. So, that's really interesting. So thanks for sharing that. My only thought on the pH indicators, this is just kind of my like reflective thought, is initially indicators we've used, like we've made indicators before. Like Jam took some red cabbage and blended it up. And I think that often natural pH indicators go in that same vein, where I think a lot of times the more acidic goes to the more pink or red side. And then on the other side goes to more blue. So I think a lot of times natural indicators do that. I remember having to learn in high school that like acids turn red litmus paper blue, and yeah, like I remember all those things that I had to learn. Basis turns red litmus paper blue because they both start with B. So I remember thinking, I think that maybe it's just like, oh, this is the natural indicator that the color that it turns is my guess. But then I bet also it got convenient to standardize this. So this is just my off the cuff thought.
Yeah, that's interesting. I could see it being like, I mean, we could make it something else if we wanted to. We have to try really hard to find a different indicator.
Yeah.
It's like if there's something that just already exists that we can kind of naturally derive or extract that responds to this, then we just do that.
Exactly. That's my thought.
Yeah, when I used to do, not the strips, but I was doing the like testing thing with those little vials, and then it would shine a light through it and it would read, you know. I got used to what the colors were, and I think there was certainly a mixture of like whatever was natural, but also like it did help that they were all different colors. So I bet at least a couple of them they made different on purpose, so that it was super obvious which vial you're looking at.
Yeah,
so you don't get them mixed up, you know.
Yeah.
But that was one of those where it was just like, oh wait, what did I took the like top off of this one. What do I, you know?
But also a friend of mine told me, and I tend to agree with this, pool chemistry is not real chemistry. It is real chemistry, but they don't use real chemistry words. Like
right.
Like I was like feeling a little insecure about getting a pool and being like, oh, do I need to like figure out all these chemicals? But I just don't really want to do that. It's really intimidating. And my friend who's also a chemist was like, no, they measure alkalinity and acidity. Those are both two different measures of the same thing, but not for them. They use it for different things. They don't use the right chemistry words, so you don't have to do it. And I was like, okay, great.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of pool chemistry things that I'm like, that's not what you said it is.
Yeah,
so,
It's like they found their own route to like make this.
Yeah.
To figure out what they need to know and what they don't need to know.
Yeah.
Totally. Interesting. All right, you want to read these last two statements?
Yes. Okay. So there's some funny statements. One is, I wanted to ask you this, Jim. This is a review and you're primarily in charge of our ad placement. So I thought it would be good for you. This person said some really nice things. They said they had some feedback. The ad placement is jarring since they sometimes land mid-sentence. Host and content are great and have a cool rapport. But again, please fix the placement. IDing on Apple Podcast.
Yeah, so
it might be ID in Q.
Oh yeah. I can't tell what that is, yeah. I do that on purpose just to mess with you.
Stop.
Just kidding. No, it is not on purpose. In fact, depending on what episode you're listening to, either my bad and I goofed when I was trying to get it right. That's definitely possible. The having good intentions and goofing it up on accident is a thing that we do around here. That's like kind of my brand. It's like, man, he's trying so hard and not getting it 100%. But what's probably more likely, depending on how old the episode is that last year when we became part of the Believe network, we're like still an independent podcast, but they're like an indie network, which is awesome. Our back catalog of episodes, which there are many, we could not go back and manually place all of those ad breaks. So they helped us with that. And they weren't just doing it randomly, but also there was a huge batch to do. And so
hundreds and hundreds.
Yeah, hundreds. So my guess, not knowing which episode you were listening to or where you're at, if you went back to the beginning and worked through that way, is that there are some that were placed a little haphazardly. And that's a thing we'd love to be able to go update. It'll just take a lot of time to do that. But honestly, if you don't mind helping us with that and you're listening to this right now, the person who wrote that review, ID in Q, or somebody else, and there's an episode you're listening to and it has a weird placement, if you would just like email us that, like, hey, I was listening to this particular episode and it was weird around this time code. That would help us a lot, honestly, because it'll still be slow chipping away, but it's like this sort of crowdsourcing of info, because for us to go back and check which ones work well and which ones don't would just take a long time.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that'd be a way you could help us make that experience better. We do care about that a lot. And there's a mixture of we can't do everything, and we kind of laugh at some of the things that we're just like, man, would be nice if we could, you know. But we don't love that it's a jarring experience. We want you to be able to stay focused in on the episode and keep like connecting the dots on the lesson and stuff. So we care about that.
I'll also say, you know, part of why I took the job I took is because I was like, I'll have more time as a teacher, you know, as I won't have to do as much research, and I'll be able to spend more of it on the podcast. But the first year was really, really hard, and I didn't have a lot of time. Yeah. So, and then this year is a little bit better, but I'm trying to also spend time with my family, you know, and my friends. I didn't get to really do that last year very much. So, you know, sadly, this often gets pushed to sort of the edges of our time, and it is very much still a hobby. Yeah. So, you know.
But we like being part of Believe. They've been good to us so far, and despite some of those hiccups like that, having them be able to help fund the show as well through the ads and stuff, it's obviously been huge. We could not, this was like a little inside baseball, but it was just so hard for us to, like, our patrons help a ton, but there's like a limit there. We don't expect every person who's listening to be able to go join our Patreon, and that makes sense, you know. That's kind of what we expected. With the ad stuff, it was super impossible for us to go out and like talk to different brands and get them to, you know, want to do an ad with us. If they did, it would take like so many emails and discussions to even get there, and to kind of get a consistent level of ads, so there's something coming in on a consistent basis to help with the cost of the show, was just hard. And so we just weren't doing it. But it was like just kind of money we were leaving on the table that wasn't really money to be made and get us rich, but just like money to help keep the show going and help us improve stuff that we just weren't able to do, and we hope to be able to do. And having an ad partner with our network is honestly huge. So that's one of those things where it's a good thing. It does make the experience for listening a little less enjoyable, depending on how much ads bug you. Just know that every time you're listening to an ad, it's helping make the show possible. Yeah. And that's why we give you the option for Patreon, joining our community, where you get the ad-free feed of the show. Because we know that's like something that for some of you, that's like so worth it, and you're happy to pay for that. And so we want you to have a route to get there, where you are still kind of helping make the show possible. So just a little detour, a little tangent on the ads thing.
Yeah. And a little bit more inside baseball, I'll say, is Jim and I don't make money. We're still definitely donating our time to this. Oh, yeah. So the podcast has a bank account, and the podcast bank account is used to like make sure we have the equipment we need to film, to make sure that we have the like storage that we need to transcribe episodes so that we can have transcriptions available. You know, a lot of what we are, what like the behind the scenes stuff that maybe isn't like, oh, so they're just getting rich. It's like, we don't. I think we Chemistry for Your Life still owes us money.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We've put more in, and then we haven't had to in a while in terms of putting in our own money, but that's how we got it started. And so it's technically owes us money, but we have not tried to get paid by it yet. No. We just kind of let it be its own thing, and we just are keeping it alive.
So you really are, you know, when you're giving or listening, you really are just keeping the show going. You're keeping, you're not lining our pockets. We have our full-time jobs for that.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Not that our full-time jobs are like lining our pockets. They're also just keeping us going.
They're letting us have pants that have pockets in the first place.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll finish with this last one. This made me laugh. So this was on YouTube. This was a comment on our set. We have a stack of old chemistry books, and it says, I'm getting weird flashbacks from these used books from Biking Uncle on YouTube. And that made me laugh because also these are literally my used books I have one from college. I have one that was given to me in grad school, and I have one that I purchased in grad school. So if you want to know what it looks like, that stack of random chemistry books are mine. These are mine that I paid for. And I don't know, do students even buy used books anymore? Do they even buy books? You could just get it all online.
I bet depending on the class and how specific. You know, it'd be funny is one week if we just without any context, just put several of my old film books there because I have several of those over there on the shelf.
Yeah.
They're a little out of frame, so people aren't seeing them. What if it was just suddenly not chemistry?
That would be funny.
And we just did it one time.
Just to see if anyone caught it.
Yep. Maybe that'll happen once.
That's good.
Keep your eyes open.
I like that. That's a good little Easter egg.
And it also seems more like a Q&R type of thing. Ask a Chemist seems a little more appropriate there than one of our main episodes.
Yeah.
But maybe.
Well, thanks for those questions, Jam. And thanks to our community and our community for writing those in.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Thank you all for sending those. If you have questions, thoughts, ideas, comments, follow-ups, reviews, complaints, whatever, send those to us on our website at chemforyourlife.com. That's chemforyourlife.com. Share thoughts and ideas with us. If you'd like to join the super cool chem community we've been talking about quite a bit in this episode, you can go to patreon.com/chemforyourlife. The ad-free feed of the show is there, which I mentioned, as well as an extra bonus episode, a little sort of hangout episode with Melissa and I every month, and a few other things, ways of us saying thank you for being a part of our community, keeping the show going. And you can also support the show by buying some spooky merch or some regular merch on our website at chemforyourlife.com/store. It's just, a cool way to kind of represent the podcast, represent chemistry in general. Some of them just have a simple logo on them, just the Erlenmeyer flask or whatever, and gives us a little something to keep the show going, and you get something cool also. So kind of win-win.
Yeah.
Another way to help that's super easy, super chill is just to subscribe on your favorite podcast app, rate and write a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, subscribe on YouTube, leave a comment over there. Those things just help the show get discovered so people can learn about the chemistry in their everyday life.
Or you can tell your friend that you really like about
That's true.
This podcast.
That's true. Tell a friend.
Yeah. And we do like to shout out our community who makes this show possible by name over on Patreon. And so we would like to thank Hunter, Chris and Claire, Stephen, Timothy, Katrina, Scott, Vince, Kyle, Brian, Letila, Rachel, Elizabeth, John, Jessie, Doreen, Chelsea, Heather, Ash, Emily, Avishai, Chelsea, Christina. Yes, I knew Christina G was still on there.
Yeah.
We have another KG initial who's not on here anymore, I'm pretty sure. So Jacob, Venus, Suzanne, Erica, Cullyn, Jeannette, Ciara, Autoclave, Julie, Emily, our newest member, and Lynn. Thank you all so much for everything you do to make this podcast happen. And I do have one single reference in your show notes and on our website. Okay. Yay, chemistry.
Yay,
Bye.
chemistry. Bye.